What's going on? We are on Behind the Boards, episode 31. You know, we took it to Norway. We had to take it to Norway because I want to give a big shout out to all the Norway producers because a lot of y'all get involved. You know what I mean? Weekly, you actually keep our numbers up. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You guys are in. You know what I mean? Like, well, you might not get in like every week, but when y'all pop in, I'm like, okay, that's what's up. You know what I mean? And I got Palla-Bee in the building. I got MK in the building, ConnieN, Pariah Rebel, Bahkin Beats, and BERG in the building. And you know what I mean? And hopefully more people come in, and it's just good to see y'all here. I mean, I've seen two of y'all. You know what I mean? I didn't see the rest. This is the first time I see the rest of y'all. I see Pariah and BERG. You know what I mean? They're always in the after shows, and you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, you know,
actually,
Chris, I actually won one time and you didn't have the after show then. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm probably not gonna have an after show for yesterday either, because this is like kind of like instead of an after show. You know what I'm saying? Like because then I'm gonna have to reach back out to all the producers, and it'll probably be too
Sure.
late. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even know yet. I could find out. I could figure it out what I'm gonna pick like around 7 o'clock, and then it's too late for y'all to come in. You know what I'm saying? At your time. So there won't. This will be like the only time. Like, but I've been trying to stay on the after shows. You know what I mean? Like we did like 3 or 4 in a row, but we will be back in it again next week. But yeah, so speaking of that, let's go to Palla-Bee. Palla-Bee, I mean, I know I might ask you guys this question again. It's kind of like I'm doing the same thing like an after show, but it's kind of like getting you in here when you don't be getting an after show. And some of y'all sometimes can't even get an after show, even if you're in the tops. You know what I'm saying? So Palla-Bee, you're what part of Norway?
I live in East Norway, yeah, in Moss, close to Oslo, like 1 hour next to the capital of Norway.
Oh, nice. And then how long you been making beats for?
Since I was 12, or the end of the 90s. I started like in the end of the 90s, like 1999 or 98 when I was a kid. So that's when it started, but I've been on and off like for many years.
So another question, what do you use to make beats?
I use mainly my DAW is FL, and I use like other, like I use hardware and I record it and stuff like that.
Okay. And you answer those questions. Now, this is a new question. I don't ask that after show. Who is some of your inspirational producers that made you want to become a producer?
Oh my God, so many.
Who would you consider your top top favorite producer? Like, who's your top favorite producer?
Madlib or Beat Rock, DJ Premier. So it's so many, and not, you know, so many. I can't just.
It's not easy, right? And then you got your brothers and sisters in the producer's corner. You learn off at the same time, right? You guys all learn from each other.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You got any projects or anything you're working on?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some EPs and like songs with Norwegian rappers, and that's about it. So, yeah, that's like some secret songs in the making. You know?
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, let me go to MK. MK, what's up?
What's up?
What's up, man? What part of Norway are you from?
I'm from Old Town, Oslo.
Okay. How long you been making beats for?
Oh shit! When you asked that question, I was like, how should I answer? I think about like 20 years, maybe now.
Oh, nice.
Almost. No, not that much. I don't know. I think from 2005.
So
somewhere
like 16
around that.
years. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you use?
I'm on Cubase 10 Pro right now.
Yeah, the Cubase is dope. That was my first DAW I used to use. I had a
Yeah, I started with Cubase and started flipping over to FL.
Actually, Innuendo. I had Innuendo. Yeah, I had Innuendo. But it's the same, right? Steinberg, right? It's the same.
Yeah, Steinberg. Yeah, it's really easy to use.
Who is some of your influences that made you want to be a producer?
Oof. I think the first one that made me like really listen to to samples and things. It was I think it was Timberland when I heard his beats.
ASR 10, huh?
Yeah, but it was like the interesting part was when I started listening to what it kind of used on his beat when it kind of makes the sounds from a hi-hat from like a bottle of coins and shakes them and do an experience.
Doesn't he use his mouth to do things and he samples?
Yeah, a lot of mouth voices,
Yeah.
sounds. So all these beats kind of have like this boom boom and everything.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
I think it was him. My first one was him.
I wish I was like Rozelle and I could just sample myself. I want to
Yeah.
like this and then fucking use that shit.
If your mother only knew.
All right. So Connie,
Yeah.
the Norway female, you know what I mean? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Salute to you. Where are you from in Norway?
Bergen in the west coast of Norway.
Okay. And
The second biggest. Sorry.
The biggest? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The second biggest city in Norway.
Okay. You how long you been making beats for?
I said 3 years to the guys, but it's 4 years. So
seems like more than that. With the, you know, I like.
But the first half 6 months I sat day and night. I forgot to eat and sleep, and I didn't take the phone because I got a hang up.
But I see you play the guitar too, right?
Yeah, I play different instruments.
Oh, that's what's up. And so what do you use to make beats?
Cubase.
Okay, so you both use Cubase. Your Cubase is dope, man. I mean, I never made a beat on a DAW. I recorded on a DAW. You know what I'm saying? I come from there. I'm old. I come from there with having an 8-second sampler with a 4-track. That's how I started making beats. You know what I'm saying? Like 1993, 94 is when I started. You know what I'm saying? So I'm old. You know what I mean? Like
I'm going back to that stuff. So that's
I mean,
that's what I'm trying to do.
I had Blackistan here yesterday, and I was playing beats for him that I did in 96, 95, and he's like, "Yo, Stress, why don't you make beats like that anymore?" I'm like, I don't know, man. It's real simple. And he's like, "Yo, but I'll do a whole album with you if you do beats like that." I'm like, "Word?" You know what I mean? You know, it's mostly like break beats and using sample chops and shit with a bass line. You know what I mean? With a couple sounds here and there, and not much change up except for the hook. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? In the scratches. But that's DJ Premier. I mean, that's so Connie is saying that. Who's some of your favorite influences that got you to want to? I mean, you might say more than producer from hip hop, right? But...
Yeah, I listen to everything, rock, pop. Actually, I didn't listen to hip hop before like 5 years ago. Only like Eminem when he was very popular and so. Because I didn't like it. It was too many. Too much words, so I didn't keep up with. Yeah, I got stressed.
The English,
But now, yeah, I'm just fell in love with hip hop.
But yeah, it's good. It's good to see. You know what I mean? I like to see more females in the challenges too. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And it's just, you know, because I look at everybody the same. You know what I'm saying? And that just brings more. I remember we was having challenges like where we have 3 or 4 females in them like weekly, and then it like, you know, people got life things, you know, marriage and doing all kinds of stuff.
We should try get more females in the challenges, I think. Like,
I try, trust
me.
to
promote it, you know.
I just don't like to be hitting females up all the time, asking them, because I don't know if they got a man. Like, why does this guy keep hitting you up? So that's why I try to like do it like once in a while and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you going? You coming back? You know what I mean? And you know, I know how like, if it was my girl, my wife or something, like, yo, why does this dude keep going in your inbox? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I try to do it. Well, I mostly say it on the show, like, yo, come on, get in here, like, you know what I mean? Like Murder Megs was in it, Lyrical Lisa, Cecilia, Lefty, you know, there used to be ones from a long time ago, like Jaya, this girl named Nusa, like they were dope, but they just, And there's more. There's Sandra, which she's Rania Soul. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this dope. This dope. But it's dope to see you in. I hope you say, because you know I like your style. You know what I mean? You see, you're in my pick a couple times and shit. You know what I mean? Because your style's dope. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It's different. You know what I mean? I like all your styles, but your style's dope. So you got any projects or anything you got coming out?
Yes, but yeah, I'm doing my songs acoustic
Oh,
these
nice.
days.
So you sing too?
Yeah,
That's nice. Salute.
that's what I mainly did, and then I started rapping.
Oh, you're rapping
Around when I started produce, I started also rapping because I broke my leg, so I got bored,
Oh,
and
okay.
I
Oh yeah,
started
remember you told
rapping.
me about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but that's what's up. Yo, stick with us. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We need females
yeah,
to
it's
be in this
fun.
too. You know what I mean? We need females. You know what I mean? I don't. It's a bunch of guys is cool, but you know, females is cool too. You know what I mean? Love is love. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to my brother Bahkin Beats, which I hope I'm saying it right now because I wasn't saying it right before. You used to tell me I was saying it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Until you tell me how to spell it. You know what I mean? What part?
I'm sorry. I'm fairly certain none of these guys can spell it. So
Straight from the
you're,
north.
you're not alone there.
So,
So
what
it
part? What know where you at?
northern Norway, Sápmi.
Oh, okay. And what? How long you been making music for? Beats for?
I guess it was something around 2005 I started, like, and I've been away for about 10 years or so, and recently started. Actually, the time we gathered around at 112, I believe it was, when we made a bunch of Norwegian producers joined
Oh, that's
the
dope.
TPC.
Oh,
So it's around that time I came back again. So
you what do you use to make beats?
um, I could say trash, but it's reason.
Okay, no, but yo, it doesn't matter. You see a lot of producers use all kinds of different things. Look
Yeah.
at what Apollo Brown uses. He uses something from like 1995 or something like that. He still uses it. Like, you know what I mean? It's not what you use, it's what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's you
It's
know
the
what I mean?
pilot.
It's the person behind
Most
it.
definitely.
You know, you got any projects coming out?
A couple of albums, couple of like songs I'm producing, but I also rap. So we have
Oh, okay.
I have an album coming out in Sami. I'm producing and probably getting some of these guys' beats too. Maybe BERG and Pariah. and yeah, on that album actually. So yeah, and also do a lot of audio work, like restoration of audios.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
Yeah.
So who's some of your inspirations?
Well, I would have to say Dr. Dre. He was one of the first ones I heard from a rap point, except Busta Rhymes, but I didn't know who produced those. So
Yeah.
gotta say
Pro-
Dr. Dre.
Also a lot of
probably
Jay
Timbaland.
Dilla, right? Jay Dilla and Knots and shit. Like, yo, yeah. You know what I mean? Which is two extraordinary producers. You know what I mean? Like the Knots and Jay Dilla is ridiculous. We got the camera swift around, so now I'm on BERG. You guys know BERG uses like BERG. Yo, BERG, you never let me know though. What part of Norway you at?
The West.
Okay, no.
So Stavanger.
And who's your inspirations? I don't know if I asked you that before.
Tough question. Like the guys say, you know, it's hard to make to point out who inspired you, but you know, you have the likes of DJ Premier, you know, Pete Rock, Ninth Wonder, Dre, all of them. you know, Pariah, Martini, Subphotic, all these guys.
Thank you, man. Back at ya.
Well, speaking of that, then we'll go to you, Pariah. You did who's your song? I remember we did an interview with Snow Goons and I had Pariah in there. You know what I mean? That was a dope interview behind the boards. So this is actually your second behind the boards, right? So like
Yeah.
you
No, but yeah, Snow Goons is of course the usual suspects like Premier, Alchemist, Pete Rock, all those guys, you know, but also Snow Goons is high on my list, but yeah.
that's dope.
So,
And
yeah.
what part of nowhere you're at?
I'm also about an hour outside Oslo, but in a different direction than Moss, where Palla-Bee is from.
Oh, okay. I gotta go back to one question to Connie. Connie, did you I asked you the question? Who was your inspirations?
Yeah, you asked, but I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know the names of the producers.
Oh, okay.
So
But you just know you like when you hear it. All right.
yeah, I like a lot of music, different kinds of music.
And now we
So
go.
I can get inspired by
Anything.
everything.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
me too. Like I like Quincy Jones, and there's a lot of people. You know what I mean? I like Barry White was, you know, James Brown. Like, you know, these guys, the way they orchestrated, they didn't even play the music. They just told them, I want you to do it like this, like that, like this. You know what I mean? Like, but now I'm gonna take it to my brother Subphotic. I finally get to meet Subphotic too.
Yo,
You in like a professional studio or something? You got the Beyond the tree here in the background? How you say it?
yeah, yeah. I like
Bonsai.
Bonsai tree, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like to keep things tidy, and because my brain tends to be really messy, so I need to clean things up around me, and then I can get to work.
You see, you got the Apollo too, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
It's a real charm. I love it. I just got it. It's a nice one. I got the twin also, so I was wondering about
You
selling
could
the
chain
twin. I
it.
don't know.
You can't chain it. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
have
I'm
no
chaining
reason
it
to,
now,
right?
and I don't know if I can part with the twin because they really cooperate good together. So, but yeah.
So how long you
So-
been making beats for?
Come again?
How long you been making beats for?
Whoa, that's a long time. I haven't been active all these years. Not that, but it hasn't been 1 year that I didn't make at least 1 or 2 songs. But recently I've been quite active. I also was quite active in 2005, 2006, 8. But I've been doing hip hop since 1994, 95.
Around my time.
So I've been doing this a long time, but more or less actively. So there has been periods where I haven't been doing much, but overall, it's been a long time, and it's
do
for
you
life,
use?
I think.
What do you use to make beats?
Well, right now I use the MPC Live. For every sample challenge, I use MPC. Ah, you got the one? No, that's the
I
live.
got the live. Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
live. And you
it's
know,
another version.
I got the 2400. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Over here,
Ah,
if you see over here, this is my baby. I was using for a while.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
got the 2500. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
then I got a 4000.
Yeah. And I gotta show you. I think I have it here. Yeah, I got this one. This baby here. This is what I started making beats on in like
Oh, nice.
1998 or something.
Is that sample?
That one.
This is the Electribe.
Yeah, does it
Chorus.
sample? Does it sample?
Yeah, it's a sampler.
The Boomfunk MCs used that one.
Yeah. It even has a swing function, but it's very limited though.
So that's
And
yeah.
I used the Moog, the Sub 37. It's for all my basses, and I use my machine a bit.
Oh, nice.
It's when I'm working here in the studio, I use the machine, but when I'm working upstairs with my wife, I use the MPC. So you know, I can be social with my wife and make beats.
Yo, them speakers are tough you got, man. Those are some good speakers, man.
Yeah, they're lovely. They're the Focals.
Totally.
Yeah. They changed my life. Recently, I used these.
Yeah, I got those. I got
also
those.
awesome speakers. I used them with my turntable setup right here.
Oh, okay. You're a DJ too. Okay.
Yeah. Been a DJ all along. So that's my setup basically. And and the main thing is just making as much beats as possible, making as much music as I possibly can. I've recently been working with a number of MCs, and my goal is just to make as much dope music as possible.
I leave a whole library of archives behind you when you're gone. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, why not? It's what I love.
Who's some of your inspirations?
It has to be, you know, as I grew up, we had I grew up with watching the East Coast West Coast beefing. I loved both sides.
Me too. I'm East Coast.
Yeah, of course. But I tend to, you know, lean towards the East Coast side of things. I thought the Wu-Tang and the Lord Finesse, Mobb Deep, DITC stuff, Hit Squad. I was a great fan of those. At the same time, you had Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and NWA, Ice-T,
Ice Cube.
The Alcoholics.
The Alcoholics was dope.
Alcoholics, yeah. They came to Oslo, Alcoholics, and we partied with them. Yeah.
Tash was gonna come yesterday, but he wasn't. He said he wasn't able to get out here. There was a possibility. I wanted to make that a surprise. You guys saw Tash come there, but he wasn't. He'll probably be in. What happened? He was in New York.
But you know, my favorite producers might be Premier, Pete Rock, Lord Finesse. I think those are my, you know, go-tos.
Premier is my favorite. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I gotta mention DJ Muggs too, because no one's mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the whole Cypress.
But everybody forget to name him every time. You know?
Yeah.
Diamond D.
He's the most.
Diamond D.
Diamond D. Fucking
Yeah.
Easy Mo B was made beat. You know what I mean? Like some of these dudes like don't even get mentioned. Like
Buckwild.
Yeah, Buckwild, definitely Buckwild. Showbiz.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, the DITC dudes, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
That's like, so Q-Tip. If you go to Q-Tips, like, you know, like RZA, Havoc, you know what I mean? Like,
RZA.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many that sounds like, but Q-Tip to me doesn't, you know what I mean? Large Professor, you know what I'm saying? Like, Q-Tip.
Yeah, Large Pro. I love Large Pro too, and Lord Finesse. This is dope.
You gotta go back to the beginning. If you go back to like the early, like Larry Smith, you don't know, like Rick Rubin and Paul C, like the dudes that were like real early with it. You know what I mean? Paul C's like probably late 80s and shit, but Larry Smith,
Marley Marl.
Yeah, Marley Marl, definitely. Marley Marl's the reason why a lot of producers, you know what I mean? Like,
but in my opinion,
he invented like sampling drums almost, you know, like Marley Marl.
In my humble opinion, the most underrated producer in hip hop is Prince Paul.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That
Prince
dude
Paul
was he like invented a new way of making beats, a new sound.
He actually was where RZA got inspired from. Because remember, they was the Grave Diggers at first and shit. You know what I'm saying? And Prince Paul was doing that's how RZA was really learning the production side. Was it from Tommy Boy Records? You know what I mean? From De La Soul. Remember, RZA was on Tommy Boy Records at first. Prince Raheem and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think Prince Paul was when Prince Paul was there early. Like, you know, Prince Paul was also an influence to De La Soul, whoever was coming in there. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
Like the bomb squad that did who did Public Enemy and shit. The beats, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know, like Sir Jinx, you know what I'm saying? Like when he's like Dre's cousin, like he was there with him doing all that from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? So Jesse West, you know what I mean? Like you're saying, like I said, Apollo Brown is dope.
yeah,
Now, like, you know, he doesn't really do much. He's just what he does is dope. You know, it's like a Premier. Premier could
Yeah.
take 3 things and make the fucking dopest beat in the world. And like, how the fuck did he do that? Like, you can't even say he cheated and shit because you never heard it before. You know, we never
He
heard
has
it.
his own style, you know. It's his
Yeah.
style. So everything
Shout out
sounds
to
good.
Premiere. Check out his YouTube.
Hell yeah, definitely.
yeah,
I
definitely.
actually, I didn't want to say this, but and people are gonna watch it, but I have his email and shit. Where he's waiting for a hoodie and a shirt from us. So I don't know what's gonna happen after that. I don't know. You're gonna see him with that shit on somewhere. I don't know, but me and him talking emails. I know Premier, just I don't have his numbers and everything. Like Blackistan who was here, they talk regularly. You know what I'm saying? So he just
Yeah,
a big dude.
Blackistan is dope though.
Hell yeah.
So if you want some Pariah Rebel beats, just hit me
Yo,
up.
all you gotta do is hit him up and tell him I told you to hit him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, definitely. He was here yesterday. You know what I mean? I in Blackistan's beginning stages, he was recording with me and Rocco. We was all a crew. Me, Rocco, Archidelic was in it. Me, Rocco, Archidelic, my man Lex Books, my man Nick Vicious, and my brother H Bomb. We were called DOS, the Defenders of the Old School. You know what I mean? Like, boom, this is like 2003 to like 2000, I say 8 or 9. You know what I mean? But then me and Rocco just kept going.
Damn.
Because I used to have a radio show with me and Lex Boogs, who was part of DOS, and Rocco used to come to the show all the time on college radio and shit. And then when we stopped doing that, we said we got to do something else, and then we started doing the Producer's Corner. Anything to help keep the culture alive. You know what I mean? Because I love the culture. You know what I mean? I never loved it. I never loved it because I was gonna make money off it or, you know, be famous and shit. I just loved it because I just loved it. It was a getaway. You know, when you give you like, like, yo, this is dope.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this is what I like. You know what I mean? Like I was a breaker before anything. I was a breaker. I tried graffiti. Then I started DJing. In 1985, I started DJing. So, you know what I mean? It's the love. When I first heard Run DMC, that was it for me and shit. You know what I mean? After I was breaking, we was walking to go battle in the tennis courts. And my boy's older brother was playing Run DMC's first album in his box and shit. And I'm like, yo, who's that? Because, you know, you remember you was hearing like Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and all them. Yes, yes, y'all. And you don't stop. Like, that was cool to me. But that was the shit I was breakdancing to. You know what I mean? But then when I heard these dudes, sucker MCs who did not learn, and they started, I'm like, this is dope right here. You know what I mean? Run
For
DMC.
me, for me, it was Public Enemy that got me into hip hop.
Public Enemy's dope, man.
Yeah.
First album or second album?
No, it takes a nation, but I didn't hear it when it dropped. I heard it maybe a year later.
So you don't know it takes, you know, the old Bum Rush the Show album with my Uzi Weighs a Ton, the album.
No, I didn't hear that until later, until after like the 91, what's it called?
I know you're talking about Fear of a Black Planet.
No, after the 91 album.
That was after that or before that?
After
It
that.
Takes a Nation of Millions was 88, right?
Yeah, 88. So
I don't remember the album. I know there was one, but I don't remember the title of it after.
The Enemy Strikes Black.
Oh, yeah. I think you know what you're talking about. I never, after Fear of a Black Planet, I like, it's like, you know, after like certain artists, I'm on the other artists now. You know what I'm saying? The only ones that kept me like the way I was I always loved A Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my favorite group, period. You know what I mean? Like, they could go anywhere. You know what I mean? They could go radio, they could go hood, they could go everywhere and still be dope. You know what I mean? I was the master of the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like KRS-One, he's like the MC. Like, he could go anywhere. He could go to the projects. He could go to the suburbs. He could destroy it regardless. You know what I mean? With any crowd. You know what I mean? That's to me the master of the ceremony, the MCs. You know what I mean? Like,
word.
But Public Enemy, dope, man. When that Rebel Without a Pause, brothers and sisters. When that shit came out, I don't know what this world's coming to, man.
That was the song that did it for me.
Yo,
that one got me into hip hop.
I think I got like my records are like worn out from because I had two of them. You know what I mean? I just kept going back and forth with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, Public Enemy definitely. You know, like I don't know, but in Norway, you guys like are on the same time as us, so it wasn't like you didn't like hear about it later. You heard about it around the same time, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit later.
Because
maybe 1 week or 1 month.
Yeah, but Bender was telling me in Australia that they wasn't on it like out there like that. You know what I mean? Like they would find out about it, like or they wouldn't know about it.
I think Europeans like the urban, like New York things, you know. So,
well, I used to have one of my boys that used to go to school with me in high school. His grandparents or uncles or something lived in New York, and he would go out there and he would record the Hot 97 with Red Alert and all them shows and come back with the cassette. I would be like, yo, you gotta make me a copy of that shit. I need a copy of that shit. Because at that moment, if you go to New York or whatever, and you see in the subways and everything, you just feel like you're in a whole nother world. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, this is me. I need to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like yo, with that. But you gotta remember at the same time on the other side of the fence, it's not the grass ain't all green over there. You know what I mean? You can run into problems like quick. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I've been to Brownsville, you know what I mean? I've been to Queens, but not Queensbridge. But you know, the areas in South Jamaica, Queens, because that's where Mikey D's from. Like I've been to his house and when he was younger, because I met Mikey D in 1987. I was like 16 years old. It was dope, but I don't know. Norway got the same thing with the graffiti out there and everything too.
Oh yeah.
It's still now or just then?
No, now.
It when Beat Street came to Norway, like everybody was started breaking and doing graffiti.
I seen that shit in the movie theater. That was dope. Yeah.
Yeah, like my mother went to see Beat Street 10 times, and my father started breaking, and like
that's dope. I wish my dad used to break. My dad would like tell me to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going break.
But in fact, the entire continent of Europe is hardcore graffiti, like really hardcore.
No,
so
cool. I was never good at graffiti, but I used to paint in the letters. You know what I'm saying? But graffiti to me is one of the hardest what is it? What do they call it? It's not DJing. It's not MC. Hardest elements. One of the hardest elements of hip hop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, the breaking too. If you're starting to do all these things that these breakers do now.
Oh my God!
They do windmills into 1990s and flares, like all like it's nothing. And I'm like, yo, you know how much in shape you gotta be to do all that? It's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like they'll get like my age and they'll be better than me when I was 14. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like it's crazy. But then the same thing with the DJing, like shout out to Qbert, like the DJing. I didn't know with Subphotic, I didn't know he was DJing.
Yeah, nothing can compare to the feeling when you have a crowd and you're behind the ones and twos and your fucking needle skips.
Oh yeah, nah, yeah, that's
when you have this dope transition going on and your needle
thank God for Serato, right?
Yeah. Ain't a problem no longer.
Yeah, because and for your back too, carrying all those records, man. Like you notice that when you go DJ a gig or do something, and you got like 5-6 crates, all your friends ain't around when you got to bring them back to your car, right? Everybody disappears and shit. Y'all see you later and shit. You're like, yo, that happened with DJ Premier one time in Springfield. It's the first time I met him. It was like 1990, maybe 91. I met and he came outside and he was putting stuff in his truck. And he was with Jay with the Damager and all them, and they all left him for him to do it by himself. And we asked him if he needed a hand. He's like, "No, I'm good." But that's what happened. People just take off. Like, I don't want to do that. Like today, like like last night, everybody left. Now I'm looking at my backyard. I'm like, damn, I gotta clean all this now. You know what I mean? In my house, because everybody came in my house after. And then I'm like, I gotta do the show at 3 o'clock too. You know what I mean? Then I gotta judge these beats too. I'm like, damn, this is a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's like it's more than people think. You know, I make sure that I do it every week. You know what I mean? Because you guys all participate in it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be not a participant. I gotta participate too. You know what I mean? Make sure it gets done. If it's like sometimes on a Sunday or sometimes later, so I like make sure it gets done. Like it's 208 weeks. Only one week I didn't do it, but there still was that week. You know what I'm saying? It was like a long time ago. You know what I mean? I was going through some personal issues in my life, but I still, even when my father was in the hospital and dying, I was still doing the show every week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and we appreciate it. It's like this is really big to me, because this is if you would have told me back when I was a teenager that I was going to do this one day with producers from all around the world, that would be like a dream come true. So
yeah, no,
really
thank you though.
appreciate
Thank you guys, man. I didn't know like 4 years ago, you know, when I started, I was gonna be sitting in a room full of people from Norway. I didn't have no idea, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
had no idea, you know what I mean? So it's like all of us, you know what I'm saying? We're all like, that's why I say like I'm not no higher than nobody in here. You know what I mean? I'm just somebody that's putting my face out there and just trying to bring everybody together. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're outside, like when I was with Blackistan and Mikey D yesterday, we were talking, they made me feel like I was a kid again. Like, yo, talking about that shit.
Yeah.
Mikey D's talking about his stories and you know what I mean? And I'm like, this is the reason why that we love this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know what I mean? It sparks up. I mean, it could be anything. Like for instance, like Connie does music, like music in general. Like, you know what I mean? Like my brother plays the guitar, you know what I mean? But he's like one of them heavy metal type dudes. He's like, he's like one of them dudes, but he's nice with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then my nephew does too. He plays the guitar, you know what I mean? But
yeah, but how many of you guys play an instrument?
I do.
that's right.
Okay.
You do, yeah.
I play a triangle, if that counts.
I play keys. I play some keys.
A what? What did you say?
And you play
But
instruments.
key.
What instruments?
A triangle.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's a triangle? What is that?
Don't you play like this
Oh my
Flute.
in the
Nightmare.
school, you know?
That's a flute, right?
Not
It's
the
a
recorder.
blockflöte. I don't know
Oh,
what it's
please,
called
no.
in English. No, I'm not gonna
Please,
say
no.
it.
It's a
Torture
clarinet
instrument.
or a flute, right?
What?
Actually, when I teach the kids at my school, I say that thing right there, that's fucking banned. Nobody is touching it.
I approve.
Everybody should have a keyboard instead or something.
But I think fan heter det på engelska? Blockflöte.
Recorder.
Recorder.
Okay. With a lot of plugins, it can be cool. I haven't tried, but I'm going to.
With
That would
autotune
have to
and
be a
guitar
lot.
pedal. Something like that.
What?
No,
Sorry?
I said
would have
with
to
the
be a lot of-
autotune and guitar pedal, you can make something.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be dope if they came out with like a guitar, like how an MPC is and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you sample on it and you do everything on the strings instead of the pads. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, because some people are more into the strings. You can make their drums with the strings, boom, cut, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It would be. I mean, you can do it, but if they like invented like a machine like that, you know what I mean? Instead of it being a drum machine, you know what I'm saying? Like
They have invented like some microphone technology where you can use your voice and it plays drums. They have started doing
I
that.
think somebody just said something about that to me.
Yeah, I tried that actually last week. It's fucking awesome.
Really?
If you can sing, yeah.
Damn.
Well, that's dope. So I don't know if anybody else is coming in, but I got 8 of y'all. I mean 7 of y'all. Plus me, I'm looking at me. I'm 8. So but it was dope. And maybe we could plan another one. You know what I'm saying? Like in the future, you know what I mean? As you guys build, I know it looks like that you guys will have more people in the future. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to, you know, like Beggs and Aiken and Psychic and Amp and Martini, and I don't know who I'm forgetting. There's so many, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Crazy. Yeah, fucking Christian.
Yeah.
He was one of the first, him and Beggs
Yeah, Beggs and Aiken was the first one, then Crazy, and then Martini, and then me. So and at number 112, a lot of guys came in. Like I don't want to say his name, Bahkin.
Yeah,
Bahkin.
He was the
I don't know
he was the
who-
reason I
Ah.
started.
Bahkin, yeah.
Bahkin.
Johan, you are the reason I was starting.
Oh,
Yeah,
for real?
that's
I
cool.
can't, for real. That's dope.
He introduced me to the producer corner.
Salute, man.
Ooh.
Y'all keep doing that. Keep introducing people. You know what I mean? Because then they're gonna introduce you to people, and then their people are gonna
Sure.
introduce you to people. You know what I mean? That's why you keep spreading it out, getting more people. You know what I mean? Some people like do it, and then they don't want to do it no more, and then they just don't come back. But then they come back like later. You know what I mean? Like it's just because, you know, life. I know I understand the life thing. Like I've been trying to get in sample challenges, and there's been times where I can't come up with nothing. Sometimes it'll be the dopest samples, and it's when I can't come up with nothing. It could be the whack samples, and I come up with something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's whatever the music takes you and what mood you're in at that moment when you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And some people are quick to mix it quick and okay, this is good. And some people take their time and could go back to it. I'm not a good going back to person. I'm good at getting it done there and now. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, like, you know what I mean? I'll have like 2 sequences, and to me, with you guys, I can't just have 2 sequences. I need at least 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, with the add-ins, and you guys got the doom doom doom, like the breakdowns and all that shit, and the sounds you throw in there, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, but everything's just samples, so you just keep putting them in.
Hey, you guys, okay? Do you guys, what do you prefer, the playlist, the solo song, or the album?
It's okay
I'm
with the
down for
playlist.
whatever. I think
Yeah.
whatever.
I
is
think
good.
one song can get boring, like hearing
Yeah.
the same sound.
Me personally like the playlist actually.
Yeah.
I second that.
The real challenge is one song, but the show suffers for it, you know?
Yeah.
It's dope though if you got the one song and then no
But
beat
people
sound
have different
thing.
tastes too, you know. Everybody can't
I know you guys,
imagine the same, you know.
when you guys watch it and you did it, I played one of your beats and then I played the next one and they used the same sample. You're like, yeah, I just heard it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, yeah, I just used that. He just used that one too. And shit, you know what I
And
mean?
Was
the
one of
whole
the episodes
show
actually-
gets the same vibe, you know. It's the same vibe
Yeah.
on the whole show. So it's a bit kind of
Like 10 beats that
bored.
sounds the same almost.
It's really what you do with the sample. You know what I mean? And I know that anybody that's a producer, even the people that are watching, you try to find something that you think that another producer is not going to use, but
Yeah.
not knowing that the other producer is thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what you want. You don't want it to have the obvious. You know what I mean? Like there's producers, I mean, that are younger, that come out and then like say, you know, when we did the Pete Rock one with the dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 and then you know the producers that actually used it probably didn't know that Pete Rock used it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you hear that, you're like, damn, I want to fuck with it, but you know he fucked with it already. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, I would like if you don't use samples that are famous from famous songs.
not just that could take the YouTube.
I think it's
offline.
boring. That's boring too. I don't want to do that, you know, kind of.
I mean,
But
that's
with the playlist, you have the options.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like the one I put up for next week?
I haven't checked it out actually.
I didn't hear it.
3 songs. It's up there. It's just I don't got. If you gotta look, it's on my post. It's already like 3 posts down. It's in the sample challenge group, you know, and it's in the sample challenge chat. I posted it in there because you know I don't want to, even though I don't have the winners up, I don't want to hold back because sometimes people don't have time like later to make the beat. You know what I mean? So I like boom. So that's why I try to put it. You know,
Yeah.
it's my playlist. So if you don't like it, you can blame me. It was actually gonna be It was actually gonna be for the 208, but Bender gave me the other one. I was like, oh, this one's kind of better. I said, so let me put this one like, you know what I mean? Because Bender's really, 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 really picky what he picks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like he gets pissed at me when I pick something like, oh, Chris, man, why'd you pick that song? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not the best chooser
Yeah,
when it comes to, you know, I try to find stuff that doesn't have a lot of drums going on. You know what I'm saying? So you
That's
guys
good.
can sample, you know what I mean? But I also try to find something that the melody doesn't continually being the same, even if it's in the background through the whole song. You know what I'm saying? Like the music changes. That's like what I look for, you know what I mean? And not the, I usually look in the 70s, late 60s, you know what I mean? Like I you know what I mean? The years, some maybe early 80s, like 80, 81, but I don't really go farther up unless it's some dope like video game from like 1991 or something that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
Yeah, that's how I pick samples too. So that's
when I go record shopping, that's what I do. Like I'll pull it up and I'll see what year it came from. You never look in the record, you're like, it's 1984. I don't want that one. Like, yo, you looking?
Yeah, I don't go after 82 or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Same.
rarely, like rare. So
Like, no, because when I used to go, you know what I mean? Now I'm more like versatile. Like, I used to go because I used to always go for the soul records. Like if I seen like a black guy with an afro from the 70s, like I'm buying this record, it's gonna be dope. You know what I mean? Like now I go and I look for the different shit that I never seen before. I'm like, yo, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's where you get the obscure samples. Like Blackistain was here yesterday and he was telling me about Stu Bangers. Every time Stu Bangers sells his beats, he takes his money and goes record shopping and he buys the most craziest records. He said this guy's got the illest record collection in the world. You know what I mean? Because they're about to start.
I like the, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I like the Japanese stuff.
I do too. But these guys, some guys tell me I use too much of it. And I'm like, yo, so why? I said, so why don't I put it in a playlist where there's one Japanese, one soul, and one something else? You know what I mean? And let the producer pick which one they want to use. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me putting 3 Japanese songs, you know what I mean? I put one. That's what I've been thinking, like try to do 3 different kinds of music in a pair. You know, once I believe once you get more 4 or 5 songs in the playlist, some producers don't want to go and listen. Not you guys, but some producers want to go listen to that much time and try to find something.
Yeah.
I love combining when you have one Japanese jazz from the 70s and you have some, some ballad from the early 80s and combining those two. That's a real challenge, I think. You know, setting the landscape, the soundscape in a good way. That's difficult, but it can be really awesome as well.
Producing is actually just like a collage. That's all it is. You know how you put a collage together? It's just putting all your pieces like into your own puzzle. You know what I mean? It's
like nothing gives more pleasure to me if to combine 3 different samples into one loop.
Yeah, that's that's fucking a lot of work too. That's dope.
Yeah, but you're like a master at it. Like for us regular dudes, it's completely it's really difficult.
I used to I remember one time because I had an ASR 10 and the sequencer on it sucks, so you would have to do like break beats, and I used to take like different break beats, like the beginning of one and then another one, and I would put it together and make a break beat out of the 2 break beats and shit. That would be my beat loop.
I have a Ensoniq EPS. I have an EPS. That's
I got EPS too. Yeah.
Sequencer is like fucked up sometimes.
Yeah,
but
the way
you have to learn how to use it. The kind of
quantize in a 1/9.
You're not used to the same sequencers, you know. So and it always sounds good. So you have to find the technique. Like kind of.
Alchemist too. Remember, Alchemist was using the ASR 10 too. You know what I mean? And RZA was too, and Havoc was too. You know what I mean? It's just the when it comes back. You know how you get to the 4 bar, it comes back. Sometimes it's off. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, you got to sit there and mess with the time. You know what I mean?
You shouldn't use loops, much loops in it. You should chop the drums. You should chop
No, I
the
did
drums
chop
out.
the drum. That's the problem when it whizzes. Because when I'm trying to go boom, boom,
But
boom,
you have
yeah,
to
it'll be like boom, boom, boom. No,
like
it'll
you
be off.
quantize only the snare, for example. So that's constant, you know, and then you
Yeah.
can do the other stuff unquantized, you know, for example. That's how you can make it sound like acceptable. Or maybe
Yeah,
like,
but you gotta remember the key word is you want to make it dope, not acceptable. You don't want any other person can just notice
yeah,
it a little bit. You know what I mean?
it's the kind of unquantized techniques you have to use with it, or else
Yeah.
it will sound very choppy. You know?
That's its own art in its own to do that. You know what I mean? Like, because the ASR 10, the way they put it together is they had all the circuit boards on top of each other in it. So I don't know if anybody ever had one. They get hot after a while.
And mine get hot too, but it's okay. It doesn't burn.
I had a fan. I used to put a fan on it when I used it, and it will
Yeah.
freeze sometimes. And when it freezes, you lost your beat. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I heard the EPS 16. It shuts down and everything. Like it's.
You got the 16 plus.
No, I got the classic. It never shut down on me. And
Yeah, I think that's the one I got, the original one, right? The EPS.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any effects or anything, so I have to like mix it in a DAW or something.
It's got an ill sound. I believe it's 13.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
You can make a lot of sample time if you turn on the sample rate, you know, on certain things. You
Or
can
if you
get
speed up your record.
lot of time.
I used to get the 78 record player and speed that
Yeah,
shit up.
then you get the aliasing when you pitch it down.
And they used to say that if you sample from a higher speed, it makes the bit doper when you play it slower and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's the aliasing. It sings, you know. It sings like in the top end, you know.
Hell
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys. I'm sure you guys. What time is it? Like nine, almost 10 o'clock over there or something.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna post this up. I'm gonna surprise y'all when I post it. You know what I mean? And I was hoping we could got more, but I got 7 of y'all. You know what I mean? And I actually got 5 of y'all that I haven't seen before. So, you know, I see BERG and Pariah almost every week. So it's good to see other faces. You know what I mean? And I've did after shows and tried to hit some of y'all up, but you wasn't able, or you didn't see it till later. You know what I'm saying? Because you know my show doesn't end sometimes 7:30, and that's like, I don't know, like 1:30 in the morning for you guys. I don't know. Some people go to bed early. I just think it's because it's a
10
Saturday.
o'clock. No, it's okay.
But
Yeah, but some of us have kids and stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a newborn, but I try to be on it.
yeah.
congratulations, man.
It's easy now, bro. Just wait for later.
Yeah. Yep.
You got any other kids, Morgan? That's your only one.
Only one. Yeah. Special one.
Okay, there you go.
I got 2 kids. I think Bahkin, I don't know, also got 2.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the pronunciation.
So we got future producer corner producers, right? That's what
Sure.
the future generation. You know what I mean? Where I'll just be an old man sitting in a wheelchair, watch somebody else in the background and shit. Somebody else's.
Yeah, just imagine the sound and how it would be in 10 years or something.
Yeah, you never know. It could go either way. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, if Biggie was still alive or Pun was still alive, I think it'd still be the same. It'd just be, you know what I mean? Because they had their time. You know what I mean? There's always a new person with their time. You know what I mean? You never can
Yeah.
underestimate who's going to be next. You know what I'm saying? It could be somebody that's in their house right now making music that nobody heard about before. And like, you know what I mean? Once they get in, they grind and they start hustling, your name just builds up. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd never think DJ Premier comes from Houston, Texas. You know what I'm saying? He from New York. You know what I mean? Like, boom, and he's got that New York sound. He's like one of the kings of the New York sound. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming from a different part of the United States. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. It's definitely crazy. But I'm gonna let you guys go. You know what I mean? I don't want to keep you guys up more. And one thing I want to do say salute to y'all, salute to all the Norway, and salute to all the producer corner producers. We are all one family. You know what I mean? We all, you know what I mean? We all here for one reason, for the love of music. You know what I'm saying? Love of the culture, love of the music. For real. So I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all have a good night, man. Whoever's watching this, I don't know what time it is, whatever. Y'all too.
You too,
Night.
man.
Okay, peace.
Yeah, you
All right,
too.
Peace,
Yeah.
peace,
Peace.
brothers
Thanks
and
a lot.
sisters.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Bye.